Hold on. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? All right. Get some jams up in here. Mm-hmm. All right now. What's going on now? Mm-mm-mm. So what's going on with you? How's your week been? What's going on, Jeff? I saw the notification that you the Facebook thing, Jeff, about somebody. I guess they doing something here in the Virginia area. Haven't heard from them. All right. So far as work, man, the business 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So far 22 for from the first through tomorrow. Yeah. So it's been coming along good. It's been coming along good. Yeah. Good evening to you. Yeah, it's been coming along real good. Hit the like button, y'all. That way, what's the name of excuse me, YouTube will send out the notifications and all that good stuff. The business has been good. Work has been coming in left and right. Today was a lot of work for Friday that came in to go to Hampton, Virginia, and Hampton, Virginia on a Friday rush hour, people getting off. It's just too much to try to get over there from my side of the town by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and all of that. So I don't take any orders over there during that time. Pretty much after 12 o'clock, I don't go over on that side. You got to really be paying some money for me to go over there, only because if I got other orders, I'm going to be late for them because the traffic is just that bad over there on the Hampton side, Newport News. So tomorrow I have a order at 10 in the morning in Newport News. It's before 12 o'clock, so I'm more than willing to go and get that taken care of. And the guy has some type of cancer case going on, so it's signing a bunch of affidavits and notarizing them, no scan back, and just ship them off. So I've done those type of appointments before. That came through Notary Dash Prestige Notary, I believe what it was, and get that taken care of. And small orders like that, they don't take that long to do. I'm gonna prep the documents tonight, and that way all I got to do is have him sign. I sign, stamp. There's nothing for me to explain. There's nothing for me to go over. Nothing for me to articulate. It's just have the gentleman sign, get a copy of his IDs, include that in the with the affidavits, and ship it back. That's it. $85. Okay. Probably 24, 25 affidavits. That's why I said I've done those before. They're really, really simple, tedious, especially if you don't prep the documents ahead of time. But very, very, very simple and easy to do. So right now it's about just getting out there. just getting out there and taking whatever opportunity you can. So something I wanted to show y'all. Um, I have the other one. Where's the other one? Right here. All right. Something I wanted to show y'all that we have going on in the notary business. And this is how you can separate yourself and make yourself look outstanding and start getting some orders. If you do this, or you got to tell them that you will make this happen. And I guarantee, almost guarantee, I really want to say guarantee, but I can assure you that you might be giving more of an opportunity if you can give people confidence that you'll make sure this one thing won't happen when you get assigned an order. And that one thing is, let me drop down here. And as y'all see, right there, please print affidavits one-sided. One-sided. If you can, and not just the affidavits, but any documents, because over here, what does this say? Docs must be printed one-sided. If you can resist the temptation of double-side printing documents, you'll do fine. You'll start getting some opportunities in this business. And you say, well, everybody should know not to do that. Apparently not, because they're asking people not to do it. They're putting notes here saying, do not do this. Do not print the documents double-sided. That's what it's saying. Do not print the documents double-sided. And if you put that in your profile, and I have that in my profile, that I don't double-sided, I don't print the documents double-sided, nor do I email the documents. So if you put that out there, that's going to help separate you from the rest of these notaries, because there are so many of them who are doing this. Now, you probably are asking, why are they doing that? I would ask y'all, but I'm not gonna bug y'all with the. If you think you know why, hold on, let me just give y'all a shot. Give me a reason why. And those who are channel members, I've talked about this before, so feel free to answer. Why do you think they are double-side printing? The answer is obvious, but I want to see if y'all just, and this note, don't try to like, oh, I'm not gonna say nothing, feel embarrassed and none of that kind of stuff. And those of y'all who watching me on Facebook, welcome, because I think I'm streaming this here to Facebook also. I need to check that because I have. But give me what y'all think, the reasons why they're doing that. Okay, yep, it's streaming to Facebook. Excuse me. I took some great medicine tonight, and man, it has really knocked down my cough. And I cannot remember the name of it. I done forgot already. But what reasons do you think they are? Oops, and I cannot remember the name of it. I got that up. All right, what reasons do y'all think they're giving there? To save money on papers. That is correct. That's primarily the number one reason. Now, the other question is, why are they trying to save paper or money on paper? The main reason why is because they're spending too much on paper. So let's look at something real quick here. Let's look at something real quick. Need to log in or anything. All right, so let me share this with y'all. So this is the paper that I get. I've been using this paper for 2 years now. $38.98. That's what the cost is from Sam's Club. So if you go to, let's go Office Max, because that's what a lot of people do. They go to Office Max, Depot, whatever one they want to call themselves today. They go to Office Max or Office Depot. Now you say, "Oh man, that's $34." But here's the thing: you have to spend. You get what the heck was it? For you to get that paper, you got to spend $150 in order to get it, and you can only get three. And then you say, "Well, I get the $11 one. That's only three reams. Three." That's how expensive that stuff is. The next best deal will be the X9 paper at 46 if you buy it online, $46. Normally it's 24. But this is why because if they're spending a high amount of money on paper, so like this Office Max paper is on sale at 61. Why am I going to spend that kind of money when I can just go to the Sam's Club and get this paper? Nobody is sitting here checking the quality of your paper that deep. The only thing they want to make sure is that right here, and yeah, I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's 92 bright, 20-pound weight. That's all. That's the parameters. At least 90 bright or 90, 90 or higher bright, and 20-pound weight. They don't need card stock or any of that kind of stuff. They don't need it. Okay. One person just recently told me, gentleman that I was talking to told me that he worked in the mortgage industry, and basically when they got the documents back from us, and each company is different, they will scan them in and then shred the hard copy. And they can easily just scan it in color, so that way they have a they'll know that it was signed in blue. And he said that's what they did. They scanned it and then they shredded the original. So you're sitting here spending all this extra money trying to be fancy and impressive when all you need is some $38 paper. And for a while they was actually selling that for 34. So like probably tomorrow afternoon, I'm gonna go by and pick up. I asked a little bit of coffee still in there, but I feel better. And I'm gonna pick up a case tomorrow, because I've been going through like 2 cases a month, and it ain't no joke. I've been, 75 closings printing left and right. So that's part of the reason. You see what I'm saying? So you don't want to spend a whole lot of money on paper. You don't need to do that. But this is a simple business, y'all. Very simple, easy business, but people are struggling with it. And this is why they won't print just single copy, single-sided copy. They're printing double-sided copies of everything. And what y'all need to realize is that they're actually calling and I forgot about that. Walmart got good paper too. Walmart probably have it the cheapest, and then you got Sam's Club. One of the things that the signing company can actually go do is call the borrower and ask them, were the papers printed double-sided? Of course, they'll know if they was printed double-sided when they get it back. But what some notaries do is they'll single-side print the copy that they had them sign and double-side print the copy that they leave with the customer. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, please don't do that. And like Jessica said, she usually get her boxes from Walmart. Yeah, and Sam's Club, I haven't had a problem with them. Now, every now and then, I will go to this site here, pull this up for y'all. I will go to Zerby, and they have copy paper. And from time to time, their stuff will be decent price. So like right here, now to me, X9 is the best for its quality. I will go X9, then the members mark. This is 36. So if I had time to wait, I will order it and get this. And then they're 8.5 by 14, depending, between between here and Zerby. Let me put it in here. ZERBEE.com. That's the site. So yeah. So I will get I would sometimes get my legal paper from here. And I normally get the Boise, and I have that over there. Wherever the heck is that? I always have the hardest time finding. Unless they out. They might be out. Yep, look like they out. Well, nonetheless. So, but there and Amazon are the two places I go to get my paper. Okay. So what's been going on with y'all? Talk to me in the chat. What's been going on with y'all for us the business this year? We're in March, almost halfway through March, the first quarter of the calendar year. How has business been for y'all? I would like to know. I know Jessica probably been out there tearing it up. Apprentice, he's not on right now because he's probably out there doing 18 closings in one day, knowing him out there in California. But where are you at with the business? How has things been coming along with the business for you? Do you see yourself being able to make some headway or not? Show y'all something. All right. So for me, so far, 20 some signings this month. I have been seeing a lot of orders come through. It's still been in like waves. Like you'll be like a day where you see nothing, and then all of a sudden it just hits, and you're seeing 15 notifications and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to grab as much as I can. That's why it's important for you to know your schedule so you can say, okay, I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna take that, I'm gonna take that, take this, and everything, and all of that. So for me, direct clients have been great. The new direct client that I have, I've been rocking with them, and they've been sending me some good orders and sending me to some nice places as well as in their local office. So that has been coming along great. They pay within 10 days, to be honest with you, within 10 to 14 days. The checks come, boom. I'm like, all right, bet, So they have been great. And then my Ron client, I got a Ron direct client. They've been great. So I've been enjoying myself with them. Everything has been good. Yeah, it can still take a little bit to get the checks, but when they come in, it's looking good. So like tonight, I had did this graphic with the title of this is to make money as a notary, you must do all of this. And people are starting to feel overwhelmed, trying to do all of the stuff, from trying to market in every nook and cranny that's out there, trying to get 5 directs, doing Ron, going over the docs with clients, taking training every single month, sometimes weekly, going to every type of conference that's out there. Then they want you to start training other notaries. Now they push you, hey, do field inspections and all of that kind of stuff. And people can feel overwhelmed. people can feel really, really, really overwhelmed with this, and you're going to have to find a way to balance it out, because you're going to be looking like her, looking down like, I got to do what? I got to do what? And I resonate with that picture, because that's what I tend to do sometimes. I'll be sitting here and I'll be like, man, please. It can be very, very overwhelming out here trying to do things the way everybody is telling you to do them. And so do anybody feel overwhelmed with this business right now? Does that resonate with you? If it does, put a 1 in the chat. Do you feel like you've been told to do too much and it's starting to slow you down, or has slowed you down from being able to do the business? Now, it's one thing that, like my man James is saying here, it's slow. He needs business. Now that's different, because then it depends on where you live at and what the real estate market is in your area. But it's another thing when you're being told that in order to do this business, you got to go do all of these things. And it's just overwhelming because you're struggling trying to balance it all out. Trying to figure out, as everybody say, what's the best way to market? Who's the right people to market to? You go to the direct clients and they just look at you like, okay, you're a notary. Woo-hoo. You know what I'm saying? You get on wrong platforms and you're not really making the money, or you're not even getting to work. You're trying to go over the documents with the clients and they're telling you, I'm good. So you're trying to force feed them your spiel on the document. And then you get a set of documents that you're like, I don't even understand this mess. And you're struggling. So do you somewhat feel that way? Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I gotta send somebody something real quick. Make sure they squared away. All right. Somebody asked me to send them my link. All right. So Jessica says, slow but steady, same with it being quiet, then randomly tons of notifications. I've also been seeing tons of notifications at nightly. Yes, I have too. I have seen a lot. I was talking to a group of notaries the other day, and notifications was coming in the whole time I was on the phone with them. And this was after 8 o'clock. I mean, not on the phone, but excuse me, on Zoom with them. I don't know why, but all of a sudden notifications have been coming in after 8 p.m. So if you're the type that want to lock your phone down once the sun set, you might be missing out on some orders. But there's times where I've been hearing the phone ring and I'll forget and leave it upstairs, and next thing I know, and I got a special, ringtone, so I'll notification tone, so I know, okay, when I hear that, that's something coming in from an email that might be an order, that's an order or whatever. And I tell you, it's just been amazing that these orders have been coming in at these odd hours. I don't know what is causing it, but you got to be ready for it. Okay, you got to be ready for it when it comes. And they're not for orders for that night, at least not for me. Maybe for Jessica, but for me, I haven't had anything coming in at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night for that night. It's been, hey, we got something coming up either tomorrow or the next couple of days, but the notification actually is coming out 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, sometimes midnight. And I've been getting, and those have been some decent paying orders. So I've been grabbing them up and I'm like, okay, cool. Now the only downside to that, I don't even know if it's a downside because I'm booked. That's when during the day, all these orders come in from companies that actually want me to do the work, or they call me, I'm already booked. And I think that might be the play is that they are they know that some notaries are up, and if like we can get them booked earlier than the people at during the day, then they belong to us for that time period. And that's pretty much what has happened. Oh, okay, cool. Just got a notification for an e-check that just came in. Cool. Happy about that. And I always find it interesting they send them after, after the end of the day, like after 7 o'clock, and then I can't deposit it so it can post today. But nonetheless, check came, some more money, pay some more bills, keep it going. That would be shoot. That's actually my paper money, So she said always for the next day or the next couple of days. Yeah, that's what's been happening. So there's work out here, but the main thing that I'm concerned about is you feeling overwhelmed. Yep, 2 a.m. Mm-hmm. They be coming in all hours of the night. My concern is that you're feeling that you have to do all of these things to be a notary. Like somebody told me today, they're out there telling notaries on Clubhouse, you have to take the CD and compare it to the alter statement. That's the only document you can compare it to. So you got to, look over the CD and compare it almost line by line. And I'm like, why are you telling notaries to do that? And see, this is one of the things, if you ever want to clarify whether or not you should do something, you need to ask the people questions. If somebody's telling you to do something, you need to ask them, prove it to me. Show me where that's it. Why do you do this? Is it something that is in state statute? Is there something that is mandatory that we have to do according to notary law? Or is this something that you just do because you feel like you want to do it? That's really where it's at. Success comes when you do what you're supposed to do the way you're supposed to do it. Doing a bunch of fluff doesn't impress people who are paying you. Doing what you're supposed to do and doing it correctly, that is what impresses them. So when your son or daughter does the chores the way you have indicated that they need to be done, you're happy. When your spouse, let's just say when the husband, for you ladies, when your husband cleans up, puts his stuff away like you asked him to, I got to get better at that. Things are better. You're happy. Him doing all that, you're like, okay, that's nice. You washed all the clothes and you separated the colors from the lights and all of that, and the whites and all of that. But put him up. So there's certain things that in life we have to be doing, but we tend to get caught up in the fluff. So if people are asking you and training you to do the fluff, I believe inherently you get stressed behind that because you know that all of this is fluff and it's not the core of what you're supposed to be doing. And if you have had any level of success in business, you will instantly realize that something's not right, but you got to ask questions. I have to say it this way. You got to challenge them, especially if you're paying for the information. But I don't care whether you're paying for it or not. You still need to challenge them because they're sitting here telling you something that could be detrimental to your business success. Because if they're sharing something with you and it's not correct, and you fail to do due diligence to ensure whether or not it was correct, it could negatively affect you. Now, if you don't care about that, because you just like, I'm gonna just try to make it whatever, I don't care. Okay, cool. But if you care about your integrity and about the perception of these companies on behalf of you, then you should make sure that the information you are being told to do is correct. That is your right and your obligation for your business. There's no way, what's going on, Mark? Good to see you, buddy. There's no way you're going to be truly successful if you neglect being inquisitive about what people are telling you you should do in this business. If you get a sinking feeling that something might not be right, you need to ask questions. If they tell you and you think, and you just, then let me go do some research. Let me see where this is at. And see, it's a red flag to me if I ask somebody a question and then all they tell me, well, you need to go research that on your own. Okay, but you brought it up and you're telling me to do something. But now when I ask you about the background and the proof of whether or not I should do it, you tell me I got to go figure that out. So I'm trying to figure out, why did you say something? That's like somebody telling you, yeah, I saw, so-and-so with so-and-so doing something. Okay, wait a minute, where is this? I don't know. You need to go figure that out. Okay, you just told me something about somebody in my life. You saw my son over here doing something. You saw my spouse doing something. You saw my best friends doing something, and you're saying they said something about me. When I asked you the details, just like, well, I'm not in it. I'm just, why did you say something? And that's how I feel when it comes to this TMC stuff, trainer, mentor, coach. People are running off at the mouth, and then when you ask them questions, they got nothing to say. And what ends up happening is that you feel completely overwhelmed because of all this. They're like, market. Okay, why do I have to try to, why I got to market everywhere? Okay, I've already marketed everywhere. Well, you got to keep marketing. Market to who? Help me understand that. How much more marketing do I need to do? And I'm telling you, when you start asking that I guarantee it's going to be tied to some kind of dollar amount that they have to get you to the next level. You know what I'm saying? I already talked to all the title companies. Well, you need to go back and talk to them. Why am I going to go back and talk to somebody who said they don't want to have nothing to do with me? The Ron ain't working for me. Taking training every month, I'm not learning anything. I'm wasting money going to conferences and all that kind of stuff. They said, what's up with cloud signing? They have forgotten how to pay. They want you to hold up. Let me get it up for y'all. Is it this one? Nope. Hold on. Let me pull it up. I think I have an email. I'm glad you brought that up. Oh, man. Trying to find, because somebody sent me, and I'm trying to find, somebody sent me something about cloud signing. Maybe it's in this email, because cloud signing is now, or maybe they've always been saying that you gotta send them an invoice. You gotta send them an invoice in order for them to actually pay you. Let me see if I can find it over here. I can't find it. I don't know where that email is at. I had an email from somebody that was talking about cloud signing, and basically it was talking about how cloud signing wasn't paying people unless you submitted some kind of invoice to them. And I cannot find that email. I don't know what I did with it. But if when I find it, I'll have to do a video on it. It says it should. I could be tripping, but do you have an issue with coast to coast on Snapdot? I have not had, because if they're doing vendor pay, they've been paying. They swear they. Well, I have to double check. Now that I think about it. If they're doing vendor pay on on Snapdots, they shouldn't be an issue. Now, if it's on Notary Dash, and I will say I have heard some stories about coast to coast being a little slack on the payment and stuff, but I have to check. I need to double check that. Hold on, let me see if I can figure something out real quick. Hold on 1 second. You see something. I'm gonna just check real quick to see if I've gotten paid from them now that you share that. Because that's a good doggone question. So let me see here. This is from December. Hold on. Okay, so they're sending that stuff through the e-check. They don't do vendor pay. Okay. So let me hold on, y'all. Hold on. Be patient with me. We got to figure this out. Logging into the ePay thing. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing. Yeah, I did through through. Let me take this down. Right here. Yeah, that was in February. $445. I did the buttload, I guess, with them. Yeah. So yeah, and that was then. And I think, let me see how they got their stuff spelled. Coast to coast. Okay. Because you can coast. Yep, there we go. So yeah. So I've done, so February, then October last year, July of last year, July, June. Yeah, so they've been sending checks out, probably a little late. Okay, so what I got from February, hold on 1 second. Hold on, let me do this real quick. That check from February, just want to hide the numbers. That covered from September through December of last year. That covered September through December of last year. So I guess they sending checks out once a quarter. Yeah, so I'm sure Jessica, you got whatchamacallit, what's that thing called? You got this here. You're on the e-check thing with them. You have an account with them. So as long as you got the same email, hopefully you got the right email that you're going into, but you should get something. And yeah, those $30 orders that I did with Coast to Coast off of from SnapDocs and this, that, and the other. So yeah, that's and stuff. So my I'm with Bank Serve. I don't see a whole lot in my area with Bank Serve. Now, like Caprentice, he sees a buttload down there in California. I don't hardly see any here at all. Yeah, C to C, they pay slow. Um, Thanks, Wanda says. Oh, I need to hit them up then. Thanks for checking. You know, why I may pause on doing theirs then. Wanda said we need a list of I mean, some of everybody paying slow. My thought is this. I know they pay slow. As long as they pay. As long as they pay. Now there's one called Expert Notary Signers. On SnapDocs. They're under the thing called ENS. That's their initials. Expert Notary Signers. Show y'all this real quick. Right here, they just paid me, and they just paid me from orders from January and February. The reason why they just paid me because I had to send them a note letting them know, hey, I hadn't got paid yet. For whatever reason, that company on SnapDocs, the only way to get paid from them is to send them an email to their billings at expertnotarysigners.com. You got to send them an email, and then you list out the invoices that have not been paid. And they will, and I sent that out this morning at 7 something. They paid me by noon. So they will pay, but you got to send them an email. And one time, the first time I realized I hadn't got paid for them, I had over $1,000 that they paid me because I had not, did anything for a whole year. And it was like maybe 1 or 2 orders a month. It wasn't a whole lot, but when you look at over a 12-month period, it adds up. So with them, that's what you have to do. This is the check that just came in. So you have to do that with this company, Expert Notary Signers. They're on SnapDocs. They will pay you, but you got to send them an email saying, pay me. All my slow payers, I send a reminder after 90 days. Cool. So this is why I work the way I work. I recognize the money flow. So what do? I stopped worrying about all of that stuff that I just showed y'all, and that's in the thumbnail, about going to every conference, going to every Zoom that's on, every Facebook meetup, every Clubhouse meetup. I stopped worrying about that kind of stuff a long time ago. And I said, let me focus on working. Because what I know is this. Let me pull the calendar up here. What I know I'll just show y'all April. This is blank right now. This is April. I don't have nothing for April. There's some other stuff. What I know is this. The work that I do between April 1st and more likely the 15th, that money will start coming in around mid-month maybe a little bit sooner, but mostly mid-month, the next month, through the top part of the following month. So what do I have to do? I gotta keep working. I gotta get the work coming in so that I will get paid. Some notaries, you know what they do? They wait till the end part of the month when it's a mad rush, and then that's when they start trying to take all the orders, but they're not doing anything in the beginning part of the month, so you have no revenue coming in. I bust my butt to do what? Get as much coming in the beginning part of the month. My goal is to do 30 plus in 15 days. If I can do 30 or more in 15 days, that's good. I for the most part, don't care what the dollar amount is, because if the dollars ain't there, the higher dollar amounts ain't there. I got to get something coming in. Something got to be coming in. I got to have something. So, let me show y'all this. This is what I want to show y'all. So one of the things that I've been doing, and right here, one of the things that I've noticed, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Smith. Thank you very much for blessing me there with the cash app. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So let me show y'all this here. I don't want to save that. I just want to go. There we go. This is what's been coming in a lot in my area. And I couldn't do anything. Today I just didn't have the time because I was already booked with stuff. But this is a deed. 13 pages, $50. The average notary, they see $50, I ain't doing it. And you can set the time. If this had came in earlier, I would have did it this. If it would have came in the day before, I would have did it for this morning. I would have got up and I would have tried to meet them, see if I would have took the order and see if I could meet them at 8 a.m. this morning, because I had a 9:15 appointment. And I would have went over there, got this done, 13 pages, boom, in, out, all of that. But this came in the afternoon, so I didn't mess with it. But the point that I'm making, why not do these small orders like this? What's wrong with doing that? That's a quick $50. Somebody sent me one today. Well, I already had it for today. It was 5 pages. What was it? I can't even remember how much it was. Maybe $50. It might have been $50. I was in the people's house less than 10 minutes. Got the IDs. Boom. I was in and out. It was simple, easy, straight to the point. I've been seeing a lot of deed corrections and single document corrections needing to be done for whatever crazy reason. Okay, so this is how I'm doing my business. Now, if you are very, very elite, then you're not going to do this kind of stuff. If you feel this is beneath you, then that's fine. The only thing I ask that you do is don't make other people feel bad for doing it. Leave them alone. Don't sit there and make people feel bad about doing it. Okay? So here's another thing I want to show y'all. Just so you can sort of understand. So this here is from Signature Closers, as y'all can see. You're familiar with it. So this year, actual page size, package size is 80 to 150 pages. Contact them, and then this is the fee. And it was for today at 4:30, but I was already booked, so I couldn't do it. I couldn't do this one, or I would have. $100. Now, one of the things they say right here, this is what I wanted this year. Please negotiate all fees prior to accepting the order. So what does that mean? That means you have to click on there and tell them that you want a different rate. And then you put in whatever rate that you want and then give them the reason why, if you choose to, and submit that to them. And then they will, oops, I'm sorry. So y'all can see it better. So then that way they can say whether or not they are okay with paying you more than $100. Because if you feel that $100 isn't good enough for 80 to 150 pages and your time and all of that, not a problem. You have a right to feel that way, then you need to let them know. Just understand that they may already go ahead on and assign it. So all of this talk about counter every single time. Okay, you go ahead on. But what's wrong with doing 100? And what I would like to know from anybody that is in here, if you feel that this is not enough for what they're asking you to do, please explain to me why. And keep in mind, gas, wear and tear on your car, all of that, that's happening anyway. Every time you go to the grocery store, every time you go hang out with the fellas or the ladies, every time you go to those special Sunday weekday services that they have at church, every time you go take your kids to their basketball game and all of that stuff and all that other activities that you ain't getting paid for, you're already putting wear and tear on your car and using gas. So get rid of that excuse, because you're gonna have to pay, you're gonna have to burn gas to do all of this running around that you're not getting paid for. Okay, you're not getting paid for any of that stuff. So we know that you get, and that's the cost of doing business, and you got tax write-off for going out here and doing it. What's wrong with $100 for doing this? That's the question. What makes this a bad deal for you? And that's the question that you have to ask yourself every time you see an order come in. What makes it bad for you? Because if that's the case, and if the primary reason is because of the driving, whatever wear and tear on your car, all of that stuff, then that means you're not just running around trying to go to every concert, every outing, every, hey, we're going to go hang out at the park and we're going to do this couples trip and Shenandoah Valleys and all of that. You ain't doing all of that because that's wear and tear on your car, and you ain't getting compensated for it, and you can't take no tax write-off on that. And if you ain't taking orders, then how can you say it's a business trip when you ain't even bringing in revenue? Right now, somebody probably say, I don't even want to answer the question, because I know I dispelled all of the reason why. Here's my thing. If all of those are factors that make you not want to do an order, then why are you in the business? It's just like being married. You don't want to love, honor, and respect and cherish them. You don't want to do any of the vows. Why did you get married? Why did you have kids if you don't want to take care of them? Why did you get a job if you don't want to get up in the morning and go to work? Why did you become a notary if you don't want to do what it takes to be a notary? That's the question. That is the question. And that's what I had to ask myself. I'm like, okay, so well, you know what I did? I said, let me do the notary business. Let me just work it. Whatever they send my way, let me just work it. That's what I started doing. And then I found out that it ain't that bad. It's not as bad. Excuse me. It's not as bad as all of these people have made it out to be. It is nowhere near as bad. And actually, it's been great and fun for me. The customers that I come across, look, one day I went 2 weeks ago, I'm ripping and running, had 5 or 6 signers that day. I get to the lady's house the next to my last appointment. And they had their dinner there, and it was from a company called Jollibee. It's a Filipino fried chicken place. And I was like, "Oh, y'all got Jollibee." I said, "That's one of my favorites." Next thing I know, while I'm getting ready to do the closing, the lady comes back with a plate and say, "Go ahead and get you some chicken." She insisted, get some rice and some gravy and all. I was like, "Yes, ma'am." Her husband like, "Yeah, go ahead on and eat." He says, "Good, ain't it?" I'm like, "Yes, sir, it is." And then we did the sign. Today, customer, we was talking, and it was like, "You like he's like, "You drink hot tea?" I said, "Yeah." I got some loose leaf tea that I said, "Well, we got the bags for it." She said, "Here you go." I was like, I'm like, wow. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying meeting people and being out with people. And just so you can understand my background, for many, many years, I worked in the intelligence community where we were in a office space that had no windows. The building had windows, but where we had to do our work at had no windows. So when you're talking about 10, 15 years of doing that, and you don't interact with a whole lot of people, I like this because I get to interact with human beings and have some real grown people discussions and not worrying about all kind of threats and all that kind of stuff, and on high alert all the time because I might get called back into work because there's something that done went down. It's like, now I can just chill and just enjoy people's company. And for me, I enjoy that. So it doesn't bother me to drive around. And then with the mess that people have to put up with in office, I'm loving being away from a W-2 because I don't have to deal with people and their little stinky attitudes and them using HR against me, managers and all of that, saying stuff because they just don't like you. And then everybody's reporting each other to HR. You go up and you bump into somebody by accident because you wasn't paying attention or whatever, you're reading something, and now they thinking you assaulting them. You come to work a half a second late, now they want to write you up, and then they say, "Well, we can't give you your 3% pay raise because you was a half a second late 8 months ago." I got tired of that. So the so-called rat race of the notary business, some of y'all might not like it, and that's fine. But there are many people who like it, who love it, who embrace it, and guess what? They're making money. So while you're trying to have this, I'm not really working that hard notary business, people are out there working much harder than you in their notary business and doing financially better than you. No, they might not be making all the money like these TMCs and with all these training courses and affiliate links and this, that, and the other. But the people out here, they are working and enjoying themselves, and they have time with their family. And they're not trying to do something where they always got to duck and dodge y'all. It doesn't make sense to have a training company where you're ducking and dodging people, where you won't even talk to the people that's paying you $500 for a course. I mean, you think about it. Just talk to all these other people. They will tell you, "Yeah, I took so-and-so's course, and every time I call them, they tell me, oh, just post it in a Facebook group." They can't give me a straight answer. The only straight answer they give me is, "I got another course you can buy." So that's why I don't mess with them no more. I was rocking with some of them, but I don't mess with them anymore because it almost seems like a W-2. You got to go lockstep into what they're saying and they have their mindset. And excuse me. And when you really, really get down to it, it's like, I don't know y'all like that. And if you learned it, I can learn it. Who are you that only you can learn and have the knowledge and information and I can't figure it out on my own? What makes me inadequate to be able to figure this out on my own? So if you get away from that stuff, then you will not be overwhelmed. Let me pull this back up. There we go. Then you won't be sitting here overwhelmed like this lady, worrying about how you're going to do all of this stuff on a daily, weekly, monthly basis and not take any orders because it's not of a dollar amount. And where you going to get the money to do all your marketing and drive around. And you think about it. Now, with all of this mess about talking about driving around, how much driving around are you doing when you're doing your marketing? And going to potential direct clients? And you're spending all your days doing that and ain't taking no orders. Where's your money coming from for your business? It says small signings add up. I made over $1,000 in the month of February. That is great. I wish I knew where cloud signing office was. Definitely dropped by with a set of flip-flops on. I like that. It said, or they just work you hard and don't give you a raise at all. That is correct. That is correct, Brian. I like that picture, man. That is correct. So I like this. But the problem that we have with regards to this is false expectation. So somebody tell me, what do I mean by false expectation? Just take a stab at it. What do you think I mean when I say, in comparison to what you see on the screen, the issue is false expectation? Tell me, what do you think I mean by it? And feel free to even throw an example in there. I'm waiting. Oh man, I forgot to turn that music off. See, I gotta stop playing with that music because I'd be having the music playing and I'd be forgetting that it's playing. I just, when it got quiet, I like, what is that beat? Drum beat. Okay, my bad, y'all. If y'all ever hear me doing I'm saying about doing the closer, doing this, and I got music still playing, remind me, because I normally like to turn it off, and I do apologize for that, y'all. Hope I had it turned down real low and stuff, but I do apologize for that and stuff. I do apologize. This stuff. Oh man, let me see something here. I don't know. Da. All right, so let me look at the comments. All right, so what I mean by false expectation is simply this. People expect this business to be a thing of, I show up, I get a stamp, and I make a bunch of money. Getting a signing, 39, and expecting each signing to be 300x. Thank you. Now, why do people expect that? Okay, Shamika. Now the question is, so here's the expectation. Getting a signing at $300 and expecting each to be 300 each time. Why is that? Why is that the expectation? And I have a phrase that I use. I'm not a notary as of yet, but I do field inspections until I pass the notary exam. Okay, not a problem. There's a reason why the expectation is this. And the reason why is because that is what's marketed. You can't expect something that isn't presented to you. Your expectation is based off of what somebody presents to you. See, a lot of people have a hard time with me because I don't present this fluff. I just tell you what the deal is and what you need to think about and question a lot of the stuff that's out there. So here's the thing. Why are trainers, mentors, coaches, the TMCs, there you go. That's it. The TMCs, right on cue, they're the ones setting the expectation for this business. Now, let's be honest. Most of y'all have come into this business because of what you saw on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And it gave you a particular perception of the business. My question is, has it lived up to that? Have you been able to make it live up to that? I need to know. I need to know. Have you been able? Now, you saw it was presented to you a particular way, regardless of the platform that you saw it on. It was presented to you like you could really be making a buttload of money and that you got to do certain things. You got to do certain things. And I didn't have enough space in there to put in there, well, I got in there, take training monthly and all of that. But there's certain things they say you have to do in order to make money in this business. My question is, after doing all of what they said to do, has it worked? That's the question. Has it worked? It's like this is counseling right now. When you going through something with your partner and the counselor says, okay, here's what you need to do to resolve your issue. And then you go back to the counselor and they ask you, so did it work? So I'm the new counselor here. You listen to those other counselors, TMCs, and they told you what to do in order for you to have a successful relationship between you and entrepreneurship that is in the guidelines of the notary business. My question to you is, has it worked? Has it worked? Have you been able to see the results that you was told that you can see if you did what they told you to do? If you have not, then the question is why? Is the information faulty or are you faulty? Is one of the two or maybe a combination of both? But nonetheless, if the end result is that you aren't where you thought you should be, where you believe that they said you should be by doing what they said to do, then there's an issue there. There's a problem. Something ain't right. And now you, as the grown up, you got to figure it out. You have to figure it out. You got to try to figure out why I'm not where I need to be. I did all of the stuff to do, because now the question is, did you do what they said? If you did what they said to do to be successful in this business, why is it not working? Give me some answers, y'all. Do y'all see this? Have y'all seen this for yourself or someone else? Put a 3 in the chat. If you've seen this for yourself or someone else that might be closely related to you and might look like you, put a 3 in the chat. Because I've seen this, and I have to put it in, I have seen this for other people, and I actually did see it for myself when I first started. And I was like, okay, this ain't working. This is not working. I hear what they're saying, but it overall isn't working. It doesn't make sense. And when I start getting out here in the real world, it's almost like your parents tell you things about life, about this, that, or the other. Or let's just say, here's even a better example. They tell you stuff about some of your relatives. So every time, when you was a small kid, you would go to the cookout, the family get together, and they would tell you about certain things, or you would hear them overhear them talking. You're sneaking around the house and hiding behind the curtain and listening to them, the grown-ups talk about certain family members, just to come to find out once you become grown, they had it all wrong. They had it all wrong. And you're like, oh, wait a minute. So all this time I could have had a relationship with my cousins, but they had this thing of saying my cousins think they better than everybody because they skipped a couple of grades. And I've seen that, not in my family, but with some other people. And years when I was in high school, I was dating a girl, and that was going on between her and her sisters with her cousins, and her parents, and the parents were going at each other about whose kids were the smartest. And then the kids was calling each other dumb and stupid and all of that stuff. And I'm sitting here like, what the heck is going on? What have I gotten into? And the parents was like, my kids are smarter than your kid. I mean, literally saying this. And then the kids would be like, yeah, we're smarter than y'all. Y'all are dummies. Y'all ain't taking advanced classes like we're taking. Remember, I was a senior in high school. So that means the lady I was dating was my age. And then everybody else, and then her sisters were younger than her. And I'm sitting here like, what in the world have I gotten into here? We ain't together. But this is what's going on out here. So you're being told things, and you're given this whole list of stuff that you have to do, and it keeps getting way out. And it's like, what is the real goal of a notary? Why can't I just be happy doing what I'm supposed to do, the base of what I'm supposed to do as a notary? Well, you'll be much happier if. Well, that much happier, does it come at a price? How much I got to pay you for that happiness? Oh, not that much. We got installment plans. If everything people telling you for you to be happy in the business equates to you paying them in an installment plan, how do you not see the red flag? See, I stopped watching them because, excuse me, sorry about that. There was always something to buy. Their state laws are different from my state laws, which is New York. It would be a waste of my money. That is correct. And now people are going to get mad at me when I say this. Now everybody's trying to do courses on field inspection. And see, if anybody knows anything, I was the one that brought field inspections to light because I was the one that was out here doing it. And once people started seeing me do it, oh, because 3 years ago, nobody cared about field inspections, especially the young ladies. I ain't going in nobody's house. I ain't doing that. I ain't walking around messing up my shoes. And now, what do I see? Everybody want to do field inspections. And that's fine. But now, what is it? Can't just go out here and do it. Say, hey, here's a list of companies. No, there's a course. You got to take this course. And I'm like, everything got to be tied to a course. So again, even with this, evaluate it. And I'm gonna just tell you straight up, with field inspections, from what I've experienced doing them for 5 years, well, actually 6, 5 years or 6, something like that, minimum 5. They're not hard. I go out, I take some pictures, I upload them to the thing through the app. That's it. There's no special course that I needed to take except for what they gave me as to show me the best angles to take the pictures. Once I got that down packed, that's all I've been doing consistently and pulling in whatever amount of money that I can pull in. That's it. So all of this, I don't know what for you to be taught. And see, here's the thing about field inspections. They want a quick turnaround. So orders that you get on Monday, they typically want them done by close of business Tuesday. Well, if you got 4-5 signings on Monday and you got 4-5 signings on Tuesday, when you gonna have time to do 2 or 3 house inspections? And how are you gonna have time to do 2 or 3 house inspections for 2 or 3 different house inspection companies in that same span of time? You have to be mindful of that. So there are days where if I see that I don't have any orders and I'm getting more notification for house inspections, I will take as many house inspections as I can get, and I won't take a single solid closing, and I will spend a whole day just doing nothing but house inspections. And you did. Now, which company you with, if you don't mind sharing? I do groundworks and another one called photo inspections. I've never seen Maverick. I heard of Maverick. I don't see them in my area. And there are some other ones that I've heard of. I haven't seen anything hide or hair of them. I'm familiar with the We Go look, but every time I get one from them, they want me to go in the middle of the night and do something, all this stuff, and going to bars and all that. And that's not my thing. I ain't going to nobody's bar. And yeah, you're right. Them 10 and 20, they add up. So I don't see what the problem is. See, here's the thing. If you can have people going around, and you do much more running around with house inspections than you do with loan closings. You talking about what? Let me do the numbers here. So she said 310 divided by 15. So $20 a pop. Okay. So she did. So $20 a pop on average. What I don't understand is, and probably it's just because of the printing, you can do a lot more running around with the house inspection depending on where you live at. And where I live at, they have me sometimes way out in the country. Sometimes it's like a 45-minute drive just to go clickety click in 3 minutes and I'm done. 45 minutes there, 45 minutes back, $20. What's wrong with me doing a 25-minute drive for $85? Well, see, you got to print. Okay. That's a write-off. Sometimes people don't really want to work. They don't want to put forth that. And you got to keep in mind that some of these human beings are tired of putting out effort. They've been doing a lot of stuff for many years, and they just want something simple and easy to do. So now they become a what? Notary trainer, mentor, coach, and they pass that spirit on to you, to where you get to the point where, yeah, I don't really want to do all of that and print for people and do this and do that. And then they talk down on it. But here's the thing that you need to realize. The housing market is the one entity that they're going to put forth every effort to keep going. They are still building. They're building more and more homes in a lot of different areas. I know everybody's all into the estate planning and apostille, but the federal government is not doing anything to say, I'm gonna make sure people can do apostille. I'm gonna make sure people can do estate planning. Estate planning goes against the government. The reason why is because estate planning finds a way to hide that money and to keep that money over here. When you don't have a will and all that kind of stuff, The state is like, we get to take your house, we get to take all your assets in the bank because you didn't say what to do with them. So a will, estate planning, trust, and all of that, if it's done right, the government gets none of that money. They don't get to touch a dime of it. That's why they have so high penalties on it or tax things or whatever, because they're trying to like, okay, the moment you die and you ain't got that trust done right, you getting that inheritance. So you got to do it a certain way. You see what I'm saying? You got to do it independent, pays every week, but the assignments are not consistent until the second part of the month. Okay. So if people take a look, maybe that's something in your areas. You know, she's gonna get first dibs. So don't try to outdo her because she already got it on lock. And everything. Sandcastle, that's the other one. Sandcastle gives more assignments, but you get paid the next month and all of that. So another thing, some people always behind this. Yeah, there's always buying and selling during these recessions. The people up. I did a closing today. The people getting a HELOC so they can do an investment property. They got money and they're like, okay, yeah, we gonna do this. The 5-page deed that I did, the people did that because they're getting ready to they're putting something in the trust and all of that, and they're gonna put their house in the trust. I mean, people got deals going on with real estate all the time. Well, here's one of the other things that I've learned is that sometimes people they don't want to get into the loan closing thing and all the because this stuff is intimidating to them, printing and scanning. They are very intimidated by it. Very intimidated by it. And y'all know there's some people out there that are not tech savvy. They can't scan for nothing. There's my man Caprinas. Okay, your 18th closing or 18 closings in one day. Because you did 18 in one day, man. I'm gonna turn my YouTube channel over to you and let you roll. That's all right. And Caprinas is gone full time in the business. He's gone full time in the business and is doing excellent. So he's out here rocking and rolling, doing what he can. But there are people who cannot handle this business. They can't handle the ups and down and the front and back of the way this business flows. And because of that, they're trying to find something else. And a lot of people want right now money. Right now, money is general notary work, estate planning, and apostille. And they want right now money. Now, the question is, how many apostilles are you doing a day? Are you in an area where you're going to be getting a lot of apostille? Where are you living in an area where you're going to constantly get estate planning? And I'm going to just say it straight up. I have yet come across any estate planning attorney that has said that I needed to be certified in order to do the notarizations on estate planning documents. What's going on? I leave my house for $5. That's what my man. I'm just being honest with y'all. Again, like I said a couple of days ago, a week ago, when it comes to this certification stuff, is it something that my state recognizes? Is it something that my state is like, yeah, we good with that? If not, then that's that person's own personal opinion for a small group of people that they have concluded somehow. If you get this training, it's going to help you. But if I already know how to properly notarize a document, what more are you training me in? Guarantee you 98.7% of the time, it's marketing. And how to have confidence when you go and talk to a real estate attorney or a estate planning attorney or an apostille attorney or whoever. Okay. But do I need to pay that kind of money at that dollar amount in order to learn something as basic as having some confidence. You see, I was intimidated when I first started listening to the TMC saying I could make 100 to 250 per signing. And see, this is where again we got to ask the question, where at? You talking about here in Virginia, or you talking about in your state? Case in point, guy told me years ago, in order to get paid for a closing that gets canceled, all you got to do is fill out the Patriot Act. All you got to do is oops, battery going dead. Hold on. There we go. You said all you need to do is fill out the U.S. Patriot Act. So if an order gets canceled, you get there and the signers don't want to sign, in order for you to get paid, fill out the U.S. Patriot Act and they'll pay you your full fee. I said, where did you hear that from, man? Well, my trainer. I said, tell me who they are. He wouldn't tell me. He would not tell me. This is the kind of tomfoolery that's going on out here. So just imagine if I would have accepted what he said and then started doing that whenever an order got canceled, and then I'm sitting up here hounding people like, hey, yo, you need to pay me. Well, what do you mean? I filled out the U.S. Patriot Act. The order got canceled. They decided not to sign, but I filled out the Patriot Act, so you need to pay me. Who told you that? When did we tell you that? This is the problem. Y'all are listening to people saying things that have no merit. So if you don't want to feel overwhelmed in this business, you're going to have to start really thinking and looking at, what is this business all about? What are my roles and responsibility? And you're going to have to start questioning / challenging those who tell you stuff. I get questioned and challenged all the time. And the reason why is because people hear what they're saying out here, and then they somewhere along the line come across my channel and I'm talking opposite of that. So then they call me up, quizzing me about what somebody else said. And why am I saying what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, well, if you believe in what they're saying, then the question is, how is that working out for you? In the famous words of Dr. Phil, how is that working out for you? And 99% of the time, it ain't working out for them. And the 1% of the time that it is working out for somebody, they're like, well, I already knew how to do all of this stuff. So you really didn't even need the training. And they tell me, no, I really didn't need so-and-so's training. It really didn't help me out. But the 99% of the other people, they taking the training and they still ain't got nowhere. And y'all know people who been in the business, and it might be you, and ain't done nothing in 2-3 years. So here you are with 2-3 years of no work, no experience. I'm out here busting 75 a month. And you're not questioning them, but you want to ask me all kinds of stuff. Why are you scared of them? Because that's really what it boils down to. Some of y'all are afraid of those people. Y'all are afraid to say something to them. And that's a problem if those individuals are so powerful that they can prohibit you from doing your job as a notary for your state, when all they are is somebody that's a trainer. Nobody should be able to stop us from doing our jobs, especially when we are actually doing it correctly in accordance with our state statute. It don't make sense, but that's what people say. Well, don't say nothing, because if you do, they can mess you up in this business. I'm like, so I get messed up in a business because I'm trying to question and making sure that what you're telling me that you made me pay for, or that I chose to pay you for information, and I'm trying to verify it and make sure that this crap is right. And then you want to get pissed And that's why some of those people out there, they just give you your money back because they don't want no trouble. Oh, no. You start asking too many questions, they just give you your money back to get you out of the way. And when somebody's willing to do that, willing to basically try to pay you off, that's to me, that's a sign of a scammer. I'm gonna just be straight with you. And if they're not a scammer, it's something unscrupulous there that you, instead of helping me with my question, you just rather give me my money and be gone. Get out of here. You got your money back, gone. Once you get your money back, you're no longer a part of us. Have y'all heard of that happening? Put a two in the chat if you have. If you heard that happening, put a two in the chat because I know most definitely I've heard of it happening. People being told, okay, well, here's your money back. And once I give you your money back, I have no obligation to answer any of your questions. All right, y'all. Let me get on out of here. What's going on, Lady Jade? I'm about to get on out of here. So I hope I've helped somebody understand how not to be overwhelmed in this business. To make money in this business, all you got to do is simply work the orders that you get. Proper notarization is key. You do the proper notarizations. Where can you go wrong? Because that's the goal. That's what we're here for. To actually notarize documents correctly, to properly notarize documents so that they will be accepted by the end requester of said documents. That is what we're here to do. So make sure you can do that. And if you can do that consistently, there's no reason why you can't be successful in this business. No reason. But if you're worried about trying to do all that other stuff and you're not confident in doing what you're supposed to be commissioned to do, then you got to flip the script and get confident in your job as a notary and then worry about that other stuff. People can sense confidence, but don't have your confidence all wrapped up in just the marketing, Canva, and all that stuff. Have it wrapped up and layered in you doing your job correctly. And when people have confidence in you to do your job correctly for what you say you are, which is a notary, there's no reason why they shouldn't select you time and time again. People don't pick you because they're not confident in you. Why they're not confident in you? Because you're not communicating that in your profile. You're just saying, I'm a notary who's NNA certified and I took so-and-so's course. And because I used to do customer service, and because of my customer service background, I'm gonna bring those skills to helping your clients with their loan closings. Okay, what skills did you pick up as a customer service rep that can help us here? Well, I know how to be on time and I know how to present things to people. Okay, what if you have two signers and there's only one signature line on the promissory note? What do? Oh, I just put an X there and I just draw a line so that the other person can sign, but the other person didn't apply for the loan. Huh? That's what's happening out there. That's what you got to let them know, that you know that that the only person who signs the promissory note is the person whose name is on there. Why is there one person's name on the promissory note when there's two people with you? Is because only one person qualified for the loan. They only use one person to qualify for the loan. So if their name is not on the loan application, they're not going to be signing the promissory note. That's where it's at. So when you got that down pat, there's no reason you cannot be straight when it comes to doing this business. That's what you got to have together. All right. Hey, hello to you. About to bounce on out of here. Um, if y'all interested in a one-on-one session with me, it's in the description of the video. Did I put it there? Yep, I did. One-on-one, how to sign up for that in the description. I do that. What is it? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of each month. I mean, of each week. So be more than happy. Make sure this is not an order. Oh, okay. The wife needs something from me. Need what code? I don't know what code she needs. I'm gonna go down there and find out. But if you need a one-on-one session with me to talk about the notary business, $10, 30 minutes. We either do Zoom or phone call, whichever one you want to do. The information is in the description. So y'all have a good one. Thank y'all as always, and y'all have a good one. Talk to y'all later. Peace.